Hello, welcome to Juniper Oakes. My name is Erin and I am a crochet pattern designer. I have a crochet pattern business called Juniper Oakes. I like to use interesting stitches like these to create items for around your home. I am running a year-long crochet along in the year 2023, where each month I'm releasing a new free pattern on the blog for a bookmark pattern, and I'm also releasing a crochet tutorial YouTube video that goes along with it. Today we are doing a granny rectangle bookmark, and I am excited to share this with you. The yarn that I'm using is High Desert yarn. This is hand-dyed yarn from the Etsy shop called High Desert Yarn. My friend Joanna is also a crochet designer, and she also dyes yarn out of her home. She likes to use colors that are inspired by nature. Any guesses on what this color was inspired by? I'll give you a hint. The name is Marigold. Maybe that gave it away. Anyways, I think that this looks lovely. This will look lovely worked up in the granny rectangle. And this is for the month of October, so what a lovely orange for October. You're going to need just a bit of DK weight yarn, about 15 yards or so. And then also the hook that we're using is an E, a 3.5 millimeter hook. Yes, you'll also need a yarn needle to weave in your ends at the end, and then some scissors, of course. For this bookmark pattern, you'll see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 granny stitches as the basis for the bookmark, and that is because my the multiple is 3 plus 1. So I started with a base chain of 22, which is 3 times 7 is 21, plus 1 is 22. And so that is how we get the number of starting granny stitches. So if you want to have 8, you should do 8 times 3 plus 1 for your starting chain. Just a little tip there before we get started. But I'm just about to show you how to do that. Before I get started, please like this video and also subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the bell so that you get a notification every time that I release a new video. Maybe you want to know when the next bookmark pattern is released, or whatever next stitch tutorial or other yarn related content that I happen to come out with. So make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell. Please comment below whether or not you've been following along with this whole crochet along or not, and or if this is the first pattern that you're joining us for. Even if you don't want to make the bookmark, this is a great tutorial for you on how to just make a basic granny rectangle, because once you get this going, you can just repeat the row and make yourself like a granny rectangle blanket, something like that. All right, let's get started. To start us out, we are going to make a slip knot and then chain 22. Earlier I had told you what our repeat is, so if you want to make yours longer or shorter, just make sure that your base chain is a repeat of 3 and then add an extra 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21 and 22. After you've chained 22, we're ready for round 1. We're going to turn in the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, work 2 double crochets. So we're going to work 2 double crochets in that 4th chain from the hook. That turning chain plus these 2 double crochets is going to count as 3 double crochets, and then we chain 1. So 3 double crochets plus a chain 1 is called a granny stitch, and now we're just going to be repeating that granny stitch across, okay? So after we made our first granny stitch in chain 1, we're going to skip 2 chains and work a granny stitch in that third chain. And so once again, a granny stitch is 3 double crochets. If you haven't caught on, we are using US terms. And then a chain 1. So 3 double crochets and a chain 1. Then we just repeat that across. So skip 2 chains, 1, 2. Then in the third one, work your granny stitch. 3 double crochets and a chain 1. So work that all the way down until the last chain. Okay, I've worked the last granny stitch in that last chain. Now we're going to work 2 more granny stitches in this chain. Okay, so I'm going to chain 1 and then work another granny stitch in that very same chain. We're kind of rotating around as we go. So 3 double crochets in a chain 1. And then once again, we're kind of rotate around and work 3 double crochets in a chain 1. So in that last chain, we're working 3 granny stitches. Okay. And then we're going to work on this other side of the starting chain. So we're going to skip 2, 1, 2, and really what we're going to do is just right across from this granny stitch, we're going to work another granny stitch. So just work in the same chain space or chain stitch that you worked on the other side of the chain, and do that all the way across. Okay, there's one more chain down here. So we're going to work, we've already worked 1 granny stitch in that chain. So on our other side we worked 3. Now on this side we just need to work 2 more in order to have our 3 in that last chain. Does that make sense? Chain 1, and then you're going to slip stitch to the top of that initial turning chain to join. And your round 1 will look something like this. Now we're just going to work 1 more round, and it's going to work up quite nicely. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, we are going to chain 3 and then flip the work, turn it, and work 2 double crochets in the chain 1 space. And then we're going to chain 1, and in this next chain 1 space we're going to work 2 granny stitches. So we're going to work 2 granny stitches here in this corner, and that'll help us turn the corner to the other side. So granny stitch, and then now we're going to work the second granny stitch in that same chain 1 space in the corner. Chain 1. And then we're going to work just 1 granny stitch in every chain 1 space along the side. Okay, and we're going to do that in all of these. Just work 1 granny stitch, and then in the corners we're going to work 2 granny stitches, 2 here, 2 here, and then we'll need an extra granny stitch here in this corner once we get to that side. Okay, just follow along with me as I go, or if that makes complete sense to you, then just skip to the end of the video. Okay, so here's the corner. I've worked 1 granny stitch, chain 1, and work another granny stitch. So 2 granny stitches in that 1 chain 1 space for the corner. Okay, then here's your other corner right away, and you're going to work 2 granny stitches right in that corner. Chain 1, and your second granny stitch in that corner. Okay, now down here we're going to work 1 granny stitch in each spot, and then 1 last one in the final corner, slip stitch to join. So 1 granny stitch in each chain 1 space. Okay, chain 1, here we are in the final corner, work an extra granny stitch in that last chain 1 space, the same chain 1 space as what we began with, and then you slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 to join. Okay, that is the end of the bookmark. We're going to fasten off and weave in these ends here. If you want to go on and you want to make yourself a granny rectangle blanket, Afghan, table runner, anything using the granny rectangle shape, we have the basis here. And so what you do is just keep adding to it. Just repeat round 2 and you'll be able to grow it bigger and wider for your granny rectangle. If you want your rectangle to be wider, definitely start out with a greater number of the chains. Does that make sense? Okay, just experiment with that and you should have a lot of fun with it. For now, I'm just going to fasten this off and call that the end of my granny rectangle bookmark pattern for my 2023 Bookmark CAL. I'm running this CAL as a way to just motivate myself to read 1 book a month during 2023. 1 adult novel, not like adult novel, but just not a children's book. I have 3 little kids, and so I'm constantly reading board books, picture books, same ones over and over again sometimes, but just always reading those little kid books, and I think there's such value in that. I'm wanting to read some novels, classic literature, even just anything out. So my goal for the year has been to read all that. Right now I'm recording this video and it is January 2023. Hopefully by the time this video is made public in October 2023, I will have read 9 and I'm on my 10th book. So we'll see if that really happens or not. Leave me a comment. Do you think I've made my goal? And I will try to update you in real time. Please check the link down below to learn more information about this CAL, to grab the free pattern for this bookmark, and to learn more about it. Also, check that affiliate link below for High Desert Yarn. Get your hands on these cute little mini skeins or order your own custom color of nature-inspired hand-dyed yarn from High Desert Yarn. Please go ahead and like this video if you haven't already. Give it a thumbs up. I really, really appreciate that. It helps my video get in the eyes of new people. Share it with your friends if you think that they would like to make their own granny rectangle bookmark. Make sure that you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe and then ring that little bell below so that you're notified anytime I come out with new content. I try to bring out content that you guys would enjoy watching again and again, or sharing with your friends. So I really hope that you learned something here that you find valuable enough to share. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time for the next bookmark pattern next month. Bye.